Students, in lesson 9.2, we are going to be working with ordered pairs, and our essential question for this lesson is, how can you identify and plot points on the coordinate grid? So what we're going to do, boys and girls, is we're going to start with connect. Locating a point on the coordinate grid is similar to describing the directions using the north, south, and west, east. The horizontal number goes on the grid on the x-axis. The vertical number line on the grid is the y-axis. So each point on the coordinate grid can be described as an ordered pair of numbers. The x-coordinate, the first in the ordered pair, is the horizontal location, or the distance the point is from 0 in the direction of the x-axis. The y-coordinate is the second number in the ordered pair, is the vertical location, or the distance the point is from 0 in the direction of the y-axis. So here we have an example of an ordered pair. So what I'm going to do right down is that this is an ordered pair, or sometimes we call this coordinates. And we see that the rule always and forever, boys and girls, is that the x-coordinate is given first, and then the y-coordinate is given second. And ordered pairs are always written inside of grouping symbols called parentheses, and there's a comma between the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. Next, the x and y axes intersect at the point called 0, 0, which is the origin. So simply what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a y-axis and then an x-axis, and what we're going to see in the middle here, this point is the origin. That little visual might be helpful for you when you're looking at this. And also, boys and girls, when we have 4 coordinates, or we have 4 boxes or 4 sections, what we do is we label them with Roman numerals. This is the first coordinate. This is the second coordinate. This is the third coordinate. And this is the fourth coordinate. So now we're going to do the unlock the problem real world. It says write the ordered pairs for the locations of the arena and the aquarium. So it says locate the point for which you want to write the ordered pair. So we said the aquarium, so we're going to circle the aquarium in green, and then the arena, I'm going to circle in orange. So the arena, I'm going to circle in orange. It says look below at the x-axis to identify the point's horizontal distance from 0, which is its x-coordinate. So if we do that, we start at 0, 0, we move to the horizontal, we see that the x-coordinate is 3, and now it says look to the left over here at the y-coordinate, and if we go up to this point where we see that the y-coordinate is 2. So the ordered pair for the arena is 3, 2, and the ordered pair for the aquarium, let's start at 0, 0, we're going to go all the way down, so the x-coordinate is 9, and then the y-coordinate is 4. Next, it says describe the path that you would take to get from the origin to the aquarium using horizontal and then vertical moments. So horizontal, just to get myself in the pattern of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down that horizontal axis is also considered to be the x-axis, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down that the y-axis is considered to be the vertical axes. So what we could say is, if we start here, and now it says we're at the aquarium, and what will we do to get from the origin to the aquarium? What we could say is that I would go 9 units to the right, and then I would go 1, 2, 3, 4 units up. So I'm going to just write that in a sentence here. So I would go to the right 9 units, and then up 4 units. Now we're going to continue, and we're going to move on to example 1. Example 1, it says use the graph. So a point on the coordinate grid can be labeled with an ordered pair, a letter, or both. So sometimes it will have just the letter, sometimes it will have the ordered pair, and sometimes it will have both. So what it says is A, plot the point 5, 7, and label it J. So we start at the origin, which is 0, 0. So we count over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's the X coordinate, which always goes first. And then we're going to go up 7 units, which is the Y coordinate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we plot that point, we label it J, and in parentheses we put the coordinates, 5, 7. Now it says plot and label the point. Plot the point 8, 0 and label it S. So we're going to start again at the origin, and actually, boys and girls, I'm going to write down that this is the origin just to get in the habit of starting at the origin, which is always given in the form of 0, 0. So we're going to start at the origin. So we're going to go over the unit, over to the right 8 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now it says go up 0 units. This is kind of a tricky one the first time you do this because it's 0 is the Y coordinate. We actually don't move up. So what we do is we plot our point right here at 8. So this is S, and the coordinates are 8. Oh, sorry about that. 8. Oh, I don't know if it's going to let me. 8, oh gosh. It's 8, 0, boys and girls. I'm sorry that looks so silly there. I'm going to see if I can put a little comma in between. Okay, it's, you know what I mean, boys and girls. Actually, maybe I should just write this up over here. It's 8, 0. I wasn't able to write that down there because the page was flipping. So it says from the origin, we moved 8 units to the right, and then we moved 0 units up, and that's where we plotted and labeled the point. So hopefully yours is a little bit more clean than mine. Now, boys and girls, we're going to go on to example 2, where it says find the distance between 2 points. Now, distance, boys and girls, is never negative. It's always a positive value. So I'm going to put down always positive value because you can never move a negative amount of distance. So that's something to keep in mind for this problem. You can find the distance between 2 points when the points are along the same horizontal, which again is the x-axis, or vertical, y-axis, line. So once it says, draw a line segment to connect point A and B. So when we do this, boys and girls, we can see that this distance is going to be vertical. So that means that we can look at the y-axis, and we're going to compare the y coordinates. So it says, count the vertical units between the 2 points. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 units between A and B. Number 1, points A and B form a vertical line segment and have the same coordinates. You can see that they're both 9 on the x coordinate. How can you use subtraction to find the distance between the point? So what we could say, boys and girls, is since the x coordinates are the same, on the vertical axis, you can subtract the y coordinates to find the vertical distance. And so what we see, boys and girls, is that the vertical distance would be the y coordinate is 9 minus 3, which is equal to 6. So the distance is 6 units. And notice we only subtracted the y coordinates because we're talking about the vertical distance or the y-axis. 2. Graph the points 3, 2 and 5, 2. let's do that first. So we're going to start at 0, 0, and we're going to go over 3, 1, 2, 3, because that's the x coordinate. We're going to go up to 1, 2, and that's the y coordinate. So what we're going to do is right here, we're going to label our first. And for good measure, we're going to call that M, and we're going to call that 3, 2. Now we're going to go on and we're going to label the next point. So we're going to start here again at 0, 0. We always start at the origin. So we go over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to go up to 1, 2. So I'm going to highlight that point in red. And what we can do is call that J, and that is at 5, 2. Now, it says, explain how you can use subtraction to find the horizontal distance between these 2 points. So now, boys and girls, if you look and see, the y, in this case, or the vertical axis is the same. It is 2 and 2, so it has the same position. So what we can do is we can say the y coordinates represent the same location on the horizontal axis. So, to find the horizontal distance, and I'm going to put this over here just so we have enough space, we would take away 5 minus 3, which is equal to 2 units. So, boys and girls, this is something that we've seen before. Make sure that you take the time with this lesson and make sure you show your work. So we will have extra graph paper in class tomorrow, boys and girls, so don't worry about everything and its placement on the graph paper. You don't have to draw out each individual lines like you see over here. We'll have extra graph paper in class to do that.